Good morning. I'm Micah Davis, and I teach second grade at Eden Elementary School in Martin County. And my project was empowering with technology. So the problem of practice that I saw facing our school was the lack of technology available for our students. And I believe that's not just in my specific school, but just schools all over Eastern Kentucky. So my project was to turn my teacher-centered classroom into a more student-centered classroom by integrating the use of technology. So to complete this project, my students need access to more Chromebooks. So the money from the grant I used to purchase 5 Chromebooks for my classroom. So I believe there are several benefits to using technology in the classroom, and it can promote a more engaged environment because we all know students love technology. Another thing is it can incorporate a different types of learning styles. Some students benefit more from a hands-on learning approach. It improves collaboration and also 21st century skills. So to implement in my classroom, I use several programs including Lexia and Happy Numbers, which I'm sure many people are familiar with. Lexia is used for reading and Happy Numbers for math. I use Google Classroom and also a program called Nearpod. So my Chromebooks I mostly use during our guided reading centers. And I also used it as a type of enrichment when students would complete an assignment. They could choose one of the programs to work on as they waited on the other students to finish. So again, we use Lexia, Happy Numbers, and also Reading A to Z, and it just provides more individualized instruction for each student. Google Classroom as well allows students to be more independent learners while completing assignments online. One of my favorite programs that I used was called Nearpod. Is anyone familiar with Nearpod? Nearpod, if you're not, it is a way for students, it's an interactive lesson online, which is really neat. My favorite lesson that I completed using Nearpod was on bar graphs. So each student had the Chromebook and we went through the learning targets for that day and talked about bar graphs, and the students were able to look through the different slides. And then when we started the lesson, it started off with a pre-assessment. And as the students answered the question what they already knew about bar graphs or what they hoped to learn about bar graphs, that information was automatically popping up on my screen so I could see what I need to really zoom in on and teach the students about that specific topic. So as we went through, students had opportunities to complete questions on quizzes. They were able to actually draw a bar graph using the cursor, and they thought that was so cool to actually interact and do the bar graph. And then there was even a slide where they had to choose a partner in the room. They had to collaborate with one another. And I believe that this program really just uses all different aspects there, and it brings it all together. But I have here you can kind of see, I can pass this around here, but it just kind of shows what results pop up on my end of the computer using Nearpod. The quiz results, how they can draw it, but you can kind of look at that in case anyone's not familiar with that. So these are just some results that I get from the different programs I used. So this was just the reading levels and the time they've logged in. You can see from December and then through February, having more technology available, my students were able to, more than 5 students at a time were able to actually get on these programs, and they were able to read and complete quizzes. This is kind of what's passing around, the results of using Nearpod. You can see the quiz results, the polls, open-ended questions where they drew. And another neat thing about it is it has an exit slip, so you're able to see which students actually mastered those learning targets for the day. This is the results through Happy Numbers. I could see which students completed their math problems for the day and just their scores throughout that. Here's a few pictures of technology in action in my classroom. This is when they were drawing the bar graphs, and it did take them a while to kind of figure out how to actually use it and not make stray marks all over the page, but they really loved it. Even students that I struggled to get to complete a simple one-question worksheet, they were loving this and they wanted to complete it, and they ask for it now every day. They want to know when our next Nearpod lesson is. Here's a couple more. Happy students. And that's it.